This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, October 5th, 2022. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, October 5th, 2022. Hopefully you are doing well. Surviving. Today was basically, I would say, two, maybe three ways to describe it. We expected a sell-off. We expected the first dip to be bought. And we expect this week to be bullish. Love the dips. Traded some of the names we sold into the close yesterday. Bought some dips today. Good things going on. Again, part of trading is probabilities, repeating patterns, understanding what's going on. New money, new quarter, rotation, Yom Kippur, typically bullish. Tons of repeating things. Anyway, hopefully people are being safe. We're going to talk about all the trades we're in. Please stick around. If you're new to the channel, check out the education videos. Check out Twitter, trying to post, keep people updated what's going on. If you really wanted to get in the Discord room, hit me up on Twitter, DM me. You can find me if you really want on the internet. I'm not hiding. And again, I appreciate all the donations and support. I know when people are growing because again, you don't lose faith of your potential. You don't have this FOMO. You don't have this belief that you can't overcome losses. You're just not in this place where you stick to losers. You don't rotate out. You're just willing to pivot. The markets change. You have to change your mind. Believing in things that aren't right isn't the way to invest. Now, some people say, oh, Dan, you're very flippant. You change your mind. Well, the evidence changes. Hence, we talked about bullishness, bearishness. We've basically nailed, 90% of the moves during the last year by trading around it. So be safe, be smart. I appreciate everybody. Let's get into it. Bitcoin said what? Probably going to bounce if it doesn't go lower. Worst case scenario, you have to hold the 17,000s. It's holding. I still don't trust it other than for a scalp. Then you could get back up into the 20s. But what? I don't know. I mean, I'm personally, it's dead. It's caught in a range. Needs to get above 25,000. If not, it could just chop out. I mean, you're going to see this in a recurring pattern in a lot of different names potentially coming up. We'll see. Oil said watch the 76 level. I did not just update this and create levels. A lot of people always go, oh, you're changing, you're changing your charts to fit the narrative. No, I said this is literally so the spots paint themselves. That's what I try to explain to people. Like, you don't have to overthink this. Where is something going? Where is support resistance? Once you study this stuff enough, again, talk about it in the educational videos, how to interpret and find this stuff. Once you see these spots, not surprised. What did I say? Probably going to bounce. I've said this 1,000 times now over the last couple of days. If it does bounce, if it gets over these trend lines, no doubt, probably getting in the 93 area. Why? Support equals resistance, right? Support, resistance. Now, again, please do not bring a ruler to trading. Always talk about like ranges, potentialities. Seems logical. Mid, low 90s. Best case scenario for oil. Oops, there's my solar trade. Hopefully y'all saw this. Man, talked about bull trap yesterday. Epic. Dollar. Put out a tweet earlier, said, watch what happens when it fills the gap. Got up to the 30 level. Long story short, look what happened. Pull back. Things that look bullish. We said the dollar is ultimately going much higher, but it doesn't go there in a straight line. I always tell people, like, I can't wait till the commodity bull market starts because you're going to know how it has like this ebbs and flows, and you're not going to get worried about pullbacks, and you're going to understand how like pullbacks are healthy, and you're going to analyze such so that you can trade what? Both ways if needed, or when you take profits, you don't just jump in on the first down day. Just like the dollar, you wouldn't have bought today. Look, it's probably going to chop out, potentially make a lower low, or it turns into a chop bottom. How hard is that? Hard as you want to make it. Repeating patterns. TLT. I said this over and over again. I got stopped out here. I haven't come back. My biggest issue right now with bond market is the bond market and the stock market, SPY, SPX, whatever, are acting the same. Literally. Think about it. Bonds peaked December. When did S&P 500 peak? Let me get it. December. Sorry. Yeah, December. Here you go. I don't like how the correlations are that tight. To trust that the TLT is going to go higher and rates go lower, right? They have an inverse relationship. I need that relationship to break. I don't think it's, again, I don't think the SPY has unlimited upside, but I also don't believe that bonds will just go to, the TLT is going going to get trashed lower. I think at some point, because of repeating patterns, when people get scared and they want to preserve capital, they will do what? They will buy bonds. They won't buy stocks, y'all. They're not going to buy Tesla. They're not going to buy Apple. No, they're going to buy bonds. They're going to be more worried about wealth preservation than actually making money. On that note, wait for the relationship to break. Maybe you're late. Maybe the TLT, it doesn't start right away. Maybe the market needs to drop more. Maybe the Feds need to pivot. We talked about, the more the market rises, the less likely the Feds are going to pivot. Hence why the TLT is probably holding up. We'll see what happens. Sorry, TLT is not holding up. It's staying low, right? Sorry for the confusion, but again, let me bottom line it. I need to see a divergence between the SPY and the TLT to really trust that the bond market can get bought. TLT can get bought. Bond yields go lower. Until then, it could chop out. But keep in mind, I say this all the time, market doesn't like when rates get volatile, meaning if rates are stable, market can hang out. Market can pop a little bit, okay? Apologies, I got runny nose, allergy stuff. Been working outside all day. Didn't even really watch the afternoon market. Most of y'all know what I'm up to. Wasn't really much to do other than buy the dip and walk away. The VIX. I've said this 1,000 times, and we talked about how did you know on Friday that the market was going to break lower? Doji didn't confirm it. Look at that. Now what? Popped, fills the gap. I posted on Twitter. Now again, I swear to God, I get asked this question a lot after the fact. Did you not see the VIX? I posted. I said, watch what happens. It fills the gap. Does closes at the lows. It might hold here before the jobs number, but I would not be surprised if it fills the gap. I don't know if it'll get that low, but even in 2008, we talked about this. If you overlay it, the VIX had a pop, drop, then the big go this time of year. I feel like that repeating pattern's coming. I just don't know how low is it going to go, but I do know the market was oversold due to bounce. Everybody's bearish. All the things that lead to what? Pops. Because this is what you see. I'm amazed when people come to the Discord room and post like, the bear market, it's just not, it's not going. It's not on. I was like, no. Told you this was the start of the bear market. But look, even along the way, you get these pops, man. You get these multi-day pops. You get maybe a week pop. Maybe you get like a month pop, literally. Don't be surprised. Everybody's bearish at the lows. Put call ratios. We're at insane levels. All of the things that I look at for oversold, too quick. Again, too fast, too quick due to bounce. Even then you got a little bounce, right? I've said it looks something like this, I think. New quarter coming into July, little pop chop. I think that's what's going to happen the next couple weeks. And I'm amazed how the Discord room, people are like, again, they don't take notes. They clearly are just looking at the candles form, and they don't realize, like, hey, this is a repeating pattern. I've said 280s minimum. Do we get up through 390s? So I think 390s. Maybe 390s. Jeez, get your numbers right, bro. So, if you were long from down here, which we are on some things we've already scaled out, take some profits. Let it play out. Let it pop. Let it get to there. Maybe it happens tomorrow. Maybe it happens on the jobs number. But keep in mind, if you're not familiar with how jobs numbers act, back to basics series. How to trade around jobs numbers. Usually the market will get stuck, and then the day of the jobs number is a big, wide, and loose day, meaning you go up big, down big, and then close flat. We'll see what happens. Watch the videos. I'm telling you. You hate for me to have to chase you down and tell you how to do this, but there's textbooks out there. There's videos. It's spend 15 minutes a day watching one video, take notes of it, and then write a note to apply it to the calendar going forward. I'm telling you, everything is a repeating pattern. Maybe I disappear because I get kicked off the internet because the market makers hate this, but I've said this stuff, man. Don't be surprised. Look at the QQQ. Talked about it bouncing. 50 month. Hello. Hit it once. Again, the more times we hit this, whatever, it doesn't matter. It just means the more times we hit it and then we break, the bigger the drop. Personally said, 290, 280. You're getting close. But just promise me this. You are going to lay off laggards, and laggards have been tech, okay? Tech is not leading. Talked about this. Commodities are leading. If you're not seeing it, then you're about to see it again. IWM has more of a commodity weighting. Look what it's done. Remember last Friday? Didn't even make a new low. Things that aren't bearish. So the market doesn't look like it's about to snap. Boom. Bounces right back. Hits a 20-day inside day. Upside said 178s. Minimum. See how this works? 20-day. Let's see what happens. I mean, sometimes this is the thing about bull traps. You go slightly higher. You go slightly lower for bear traps. That's what they do. Gold. Took all my money in the gold stuff. Gap's down today. Whatever. I just, the easy money's done. We talked about this being a professional gap. Time to go. Pops up. Said watch the 50-day or slightly above it. Repeating pattern, right? Don't be surprised. I mean, again, the easy money's out. I found other names that I'm trading. You guys know. Nat gas, shorting, solar. Looking at particular shorts, longs. Trading. Doing what traders do. Trade. Silver. Not bullish. Talked about this. Watch out. And then what? Gap down. I know it popped back. First dip gets bought. Okay. Yep. It did. Held the low end of range. Popped back. I've said this 1,000 times. Let me do it every time. The best time to buy silver is when the Feds decide to pivot. The Feds haven't pivoted, y'all. Here you go in 2020. Here you go in 2008 to 2009. They pivoted. Everything else has been purgatory. Now, again, I am a long-term uber bull in silver. Everyone knows that. I like physical way better than paper. But sometimes it's better to play it through, what? Paper game? Just don't be surprised when the paper game gets blown out. I've said this 1,000 times. I think they pull this stuff down to a level that gets every person, whoever's bought silver, SLV, PSLV, to poop their pants. Be so scared that they're like, I never want, this stuff is done. Right? I'll give up. Like, I even look at PSLV sometimes. Like, this thing is just, it's going to get smoked. Cheddar. Whatever. GDXJ. Took our profits yesterday. Look what happened. Gap's down today. First dip gets bought. Whatever. Maybe it goes to 100-day. The easy money's out. We bought it literally on this day. He said, watch the volume here. Bought it this day. Confirmed it. Bought more. Sold it. I mean, it popped over. I mean, we talked about getting slightly over the 50-day. Novice gap potentially. Whatever. I mean, 20%. If you had the double leverage J Nugger. Look at that. 20 up to 30. Pretty solid, y'all. I don't even know what else to say. It's just J-Nug. Nice. Congrats. Easy money. Take it. 50%. GDXJ, even this thing bounced. Take your money. Maybe it gets a little higher, but I mean, I just don't trust the market. It's a trader's market. AG, we talked about getting up into the 8-9 level. Gets up there. Take your money. Resistance up here. I don't even have it drawn because I don't care. I mean, I don't trust any of these for longer than a week or a month. Not even a month. Just whatever. However long the trade takes to get from point A to point B. Here you go. Hits ender date. Backs off. This one. Pay attention. When it does pull back, there are buyers down here. There are some hefty buyers. Okay? AEM to me looks like way better. Of the large cap miners, looks amazing. Compared to this piece of junk, Newmont. No. Absolutely not. Sold off on earnings. Made lower lows. Piece of junk. Pass on it. And then we go to pass. Pan American Silver. Double bottom. Nice little bounce. I personally, I'm just repeating myself. Just leave all this stuff alone. If you've bought it, you wrote it up, take profits. Look for other trades. I think it's just that simple. Now, a lot of people don't like to hear that because they're like, oh, I want to buy and hold forever. It's a trader's market. Do I have to whisper that again? Is that a secret? No, it's not. It's a trader's market. Again, at the end, they will make people pray for the pivot. I mean, they'll literally probably beat the market down so hard that people will all be screaming for bloody murder. Help me, help. And bloody murder mean like the market getting absolutely destroyed. That's part of trading, y'all. That's how bear markets end. Just like a bull market, the last leg is a straight line move higher. The last leg of a bear market is what? Look out below. Letter X. Talked about it. I said long term, it's basing. Look at this. Doop, 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 doop. Doop, 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 doop. Whatever, I don't even know what that sound was. Talked about it. Like, hey, watch the 18 level. Nice. Rides up to 20, 21. Could it get up to 22? Maybe. More you're up, less you own. Could possibly pop higher. I don't know. Schnitzer Steel guided down today. Schnitzer Steel bounced back pretty strong. Talked about here. Here's another trade. Could have bought this at the 100s, 104s. Popping, hits a 20-day, maybe up to 200-day. Again, look at these percentages. 70% up. Pretty solid. Is Apple up that much? No. Is Tesla? No. Everything is lagging. Tech is lagging. Okay? Even VALE. Look at this. Look at this. 12 to 15. Here you go. Take your money. I still think long term. I love commodities, but I'm telling you, they will flush these things with the market. Nothing's safe. I've said it, and I'll say it again. When institutions start selling, hedge fund redemptions, margin calls, everybody's just literally, I mean, even the winners, they're the baby out with the bathwater. Say it every day. That's what happens. CCJ, we love uranium long term. Baby out with the bathwater. Some people shorted up here. Nice work. Covered down here. Probably looking to short, probably in the 28, 29. I'm not personally, but I like it. I mean, again, I probably won't short commodities. I just don't think they have the downside. Unless I get great entries. That's all. Probably going to stick to tech and solar. Tech is like the combination of solar, the combination of like the worst commodities and tech. Oh, trades at tech valuations with margins like commodity companies. Not expanding. Arrow, we like copper. 9 to 12. Talked about it. Maybe getting to the 200-day. Repeating patterns. Man, these recaps are great. I mean, but they honestly are just pretty simple. There shouldn't be rocket science. Mosaic, someone bought some today. Don't blame you. I mean, if it holds, I mean, it probably would have waited to more like mid-50s, but looks all right. And again, notice how commodities, nowhere near the July lows. Nowhere. A lot of these names. I apologize. Didn't do that earlier. Nowhere near the July lows. Right? Nowhere near the July lows. Right? Nowhere near the July lows. Right? Commodities are holding up. They're leading. CF. Bought the dip today on this one. Sold at the close yesterday because it hit my inside target. Said watch the 50-day. Guess what? I mean, I don't know. How far below the 50-day did it go? 30, 40 cents, whatever. Bought the dip. Bounced back. Nowhere near the lows of July. Do you see this reoccurring pattern? We don't want to buy stuff that's near the lows. We want to buy stuff that's acting better, except for solar, because solar is just junk. It's absolute junk. I'll explain it to when we get into that part. Commodities look good. Tech, this is the stuff that's due to bounce. I'm not trading it because I don't trust it. AMD makes new lows. Goes flat. Bounces maybe in the 70s, maybe if it's lucky. NVIDIA, same thing. Made new lows, chopping, dead money, not leading up. At the 20-day, if it gets over it, maybe it gets up to 147. I don't know. I mean, NVIDIA's got tons of issues, but non-issues. I don't know. I mean, it's so confusing to try to listen to the narratives on NVIDIA. I just look at the chart, and it doesn't look great. I tried to buy it and hold some, and I got beaten in September. Absolute junk. SMH. Is that a professional gap? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Answer that. Probably going to do some sort of like this. Worst case. Here you go. Get up to like 205. I mean, I said this yesterday. People are all freaking out about Soxel. I got stopped out, but I'm glad. I mean, even if you're getting back to even, you should probably take your money. Move forward. Oh, I'm looking for 14s or 15s. Okay, well, raise your stops. There's better names out there. Apple. Now, I know people say, oh, it's not below its June lows, but Head and Shoulders bottom. I mean, I don't know. Head and Shoulders within the Head and Shoulders. I don't trust it. Tech, I just don't trust it. Now, it should pop. 20-day, probably. 100-day, 150. That wouldn't surprise me. But a lot of tech looks like junk. Apple, Amazon don't look as bad. Amazon, again, nowhere near the lows. Liked it. Nice hit some upsides. First drop, bounces back. Imagine that. CRM. This is another one. Made lower lows. Bouncing back. Doesn't look terrible, but again, if the market's going higher, so are these names. Just how strong are they going to lead, or are they going to just follow? For years they've led, now they look like they're just followers. Google made new lows, bounces back under the 20-day, Meh. Meh. Meta. Makes new lows. Meh. Leave it alone. Meh. Microsoft. We talked about this one being crazy, but remember, they have dollar exposure. When the dollar's down, gets bought. Made new lows. Nice gap up. 250s. Maybe a little higher. I don't know. NDAQ. I'm just going to throw this in there. It's in the NASDAQ. It's the Coinbase of the NASDAQ, basically. It's the NASDAQ exchange. Man, pray for any bounces. Pray for 61. Someone come knock on my door if a 61 pops up on this and let me know because I need to short it. Should have shorted at 64. MicroStrategy, if again, things that don't look bearish, right? Not anywhere near the June lows. Y'all see this stuff? Acting better, right? I mean, 184 up to 250, that's way better than a lot of the other tech names. Someone talked about shorting it. I think they made a few points today. I personally, looks like the 50-day is your friend. That's what I would think at some point. Maybe, hold on, let me pull this across. No, I did not want to do that. Yeah. There you go. That's what I'd look for. Oh, but Dan, it has to hit or doesn't have to. No, whatever, man. You guys, people who just like, this has to happen for this. This isn't like. Netflix. Tell me how far away it is from the July and June lows, right? Do the math there. Almost 100 points. From the what's the exact low? 160, 262, whatever. 90 points. Still 70 points above it. Things that don't look bearish. Like, again, when the market's ready to peel, Netflix is going back down to the lows, and it'll probably break it. It's going to blow people's mind. Roblox. Doesn't look terrible. Gets a downgrade. Pops right back. Not below. You see what I mean? Like, when the market's ready to peel, all the stuff is just going to all look the same. Down, 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 down. You can't miss it. When it starts diverging, you got to ask yourself questions. Who's stopping the market? Because then everyone looks around and go, well, who is stopping the market? Well, maybe I should buy some. And then it goes a little higher. And then maybe I should buy some. That's how it works. Tesla. Talked about once it broke 240 today, you could short it. I mean, 241. We had 8 points. But the market's going higher. Guess what? It popped right back. Not really leading. I don't trust Tesla for more than a scalp. I do still own a ton of Tesla Q. And a ton meaning shares. And a little bit of options. Bought it down 37, 38. I'm not trading it. I think Tesla in time is the most loved stock in a bull market. Well, guess what? That stock becomes the most hated. If you don't believe me, studies the past. And again, I've got amounts that I don't even consider trading. I mean, it just doesn't matter. Like, I know it's going lower. I don't even blink an eye. XBI, things that aren't bearish. Again, we saw this last Friday. Nowhere near. Bouncing back up. 200 day. Probably somewhere around 200 day. 85, 86. Congratulations. XLF, we talked about this and needed to break the 30 level. And things that aren't bearish. Bounces back. Probably gets stuck up here in 32, 33. Again, I'm really not looking to short anything till probably middle of next week at the earliest. If I do, it's like for a minute. It'll be quick. It'll be like First Solar. If it drops fast, I'm out. I think it'll come right back. We'll talk about it in a second. Morgan Stanley. Things that aren't bearish, right? Here you go. Look at what it's doing. Nowhere near the June lows. Holding up, bounces back. I would watch the mid-80s. Because, again, I think we're going into financials. They're going to have their earnings coming up. Literally next week, if I'm correct. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm about 99% sure I'm right. But at this point, what? Maybe it gets up to 200 day. Short it. JP Morgan, this is a piece of junk. I've said this 1,000 times. But even it was bouncing. You see it? Got it? Good. Please be safe. I mean, it's hard to just look at the market and say to yourself, it's going higher. Well, again, if you're reading the news, listening to the news, then you're really expecting what? The market to go lower. Then it does the opposite. You got to pivot, man. You got to pivot. Solar. You're welcome. Any thank yous, donations? Probably not. Well, again, from friends, yes. People who are on the internet, no, they never. Said, watch what was going to happen here. I mean, I guess it Said it was going to be a bull trap. Here you go. Dropped. Now, again, I expected to chop some. If it doesn't, whatever. I took all my trade off because I was like, man, we got in at like 142, 144. Drops 10 points. Pretty dang quick. Got 12. I mean, I got 10 out of it. Probably think it would drop 12. Some people are going long. Yeah. If oil and gas hold up, I don't think solar is going to ultimately implode. Be smart. Sedge. I mean, look at these names. We said these are dog crap. Nice little bounces. Maybe it goes a little higher. Maybe. I mean, if it gets up to 260s, I mean, hit me up. ENPH. Everybody loves the stock, and it's like, everybody shouldn't. Hit the 20-day yesterday. You could have taken it there. My alarm's at 305. I didn't take it. But some people actually bought the dip, and we talked about like it's filling this gap. I mean, that's pretty crazy. It still ran at what? Another 5 points? No. 8 points. 7 points. That's trading. I mean, these stocks that are like not liquid, they can move fast. And what? I mean, I still think it's junk. I mean, go look at the monthly is what really gets you on ENPH, right? Look at that. Hammer, lower highs. Rut-row raggy. I mean, you can see as well as I do. This is a blow off top. I mean, again, I'm just drawing approximate lines. It seems very obvious. We be going lower. We be clubbing. And I mean clubbing the stock at some point. Clubbing solar. Tan. Prayed it would get up to 80 yesterday. Nope, got to 79. Right? Yeah, 79.01 I think it was yesterday's high. 79.21, whatever. If you see an 80 handle on silver, or sorry, on tan, why am I like color coordinated? Let me go back to the week daily. Talked about it. Here you go. 80, 79. Yeah, said a little over 79. You see it at 80, please call me, text me, reach out, demand to come in the Discord room. I will open a door for you. Because this is, to me, if you catch this stuff right, these are epic shorts. Let's end it with, as we always do, oil and gas. Oil, we said going to 93. Well, getting close enough. I mean, keep in mind, we're at the trend line. I think you probably get up to 74 on the USO. Don't care as much. This is the trade I'm in. UNG. I love nat gas. We talked about this being a bull trap. Nice bounce. Oh, it's a doji, Dan. Well, yeah, you hit the 24 area, which is what? Clearly resistance. I honestly think we're getting up to here at some point. We are going to do what? As nat gas typically does. Snaps, pops fast when it goes. When it does, you got the price points. And again, we're shorting KOLD. I think we got what? KOLD in like the night. Honestly, I don't chart. Again, I get this question every single day. Hey, are you looking at the swing points on the drip? I'm like, what? No, absolutely not. Again, I think we shorted cold. What was it? I can't remember. This thing's such a piece of junk. Yeah, near 20, 19s. Oh, what's up, Cat? So, whatever. Watch what the UNG does. Then you go to the cold and go, where are you at? 12, 10, 11? I don't know. 12, 13, 4. We don't know. Go back to the UN. GG. What up, gangsta? Sorry, I just don't know why I just sometimes blurt out random stuff while I'm recording. Hopefully, it would make me laugh, catch me off guard. So I'd be like, oh, that's pretty funny. Maybe you don't feel the way at all. If you don't feel that way, cool. Leave me a thumbs up anyway. This feels like it's going to get there. I mean, support equals resistance. Nat gas is probably going to pop on something. I don't know why. ExxonMobil. I literally almost, my head exploded last week when someone's like, I'm shorting ExxonMobil in the 80s. And I'm like, oh, you're at the lows. It's due to bounce. I got to short it, they said. Oh. Here you go. Watching the hundos. Low on hundos. Zoom out on the monthly, because I think sometimes people don't realize ExxonMobil is not a new company. Maybe you didn't know that. Here you go. There's resistance up here. Is it going to break out? Whew. That would entail the market breaking out. So let's go back to the daily. I would look for these levels for the stall. Does it have to V-bottom? No, it could do this, guys, gals. It could chop. We'll see. I mean, straight line move up. Pretty bad ass. Can I say that? A lot of gaps. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry. Ooh, burp the baby, and throw it out with the bathwater. Yeah, someone asked me about shorting it. Yeah. Again, is oil and gas at those targets? No. So probably not. Now, if you want to start a short and layer in, that's on you. I would not recommend it, but I'm not always right either. I don't pretend to trade off a crystal ball. XOP. Dan, what do you think about drip at this level? Stop it. Stop it. We talked about this level, right? I changed it yesterday because guess what? The evidence said we're going higher. It said watch the mid 140s, watch the previous recaps, check Twitter. I mean, I'm always updating stuff. And again, we guesstimate where we're going to go, but when the evidence doesn't confirm we're right, we don't go, well, you got to short it at 136. You just got to short it. It's like, oh, banging my head up against the microphone. Like, pretend that's the wall. Like, please watch the mid 140s. Not surprised. Here's my biggest long play. Gets added to the mid cap ETFs. Big volume. Bought the dip today. Didn't even get to the 100-day. I think it's going to get up to 47, 48. Not a huge move, but the options are liquid, and you can make pretty decent money on it. Again, how you trade it, whatever. I feel the most confident about this name because what? The UNG, whatever, not gas. Why do I say nat? Just say gas is going higher. Here's your one resistance point. Here's the next. Actually, let me open this up because you can see that it. Pull it back. Well, that didn't really help. We're at resistance near term. If it gets over it, obviously you can see it's just going to the next zone. Tractor beam, zing, right to 47, 48. I hope this helps. Please be careful out there. I know a lot of people are trading aggressively, and you know what? If you're tactical, quick, fine. You can go long solar when we expected to bounce today. You can, I mean, again, once you get to know names and you get used to their volatility, you understand what's going on. Great. I would just ultimately warn you, this is a bear market, so don't get comfortable getting long. Know your levels. Please know your levels. Are we getting back up to channel high? Whew, that would be pretty crazy. That would be insanely crazy, but you never know. Probably not. Probably going to fail up here. Nothing's really better. Credit Suisse, the headlines have disappeared. Well, maybe they'll come back here in a week or so. I mean, how convenient it is for the market to be able to what? Oh, before we let Credit Suisse go bankrupt, can we please pop the market and unload some names? Well, go right ahead, kind sir. Yeah, I mean, that's typically how it goes, right? Be smart, be safe. Again, if you have questions, try to find me. Again, I reward people who try to hit me up. I'm not trying to make myself accessible to answer everyone's question. That's why I hate the Discord room at times, because the beginner room is just a never-ending game of, you said this, and you said that, and what do you think of this, and what do you think? It's like, take notes. Take notes. Take notes. Thank you. People who take notes, like this friend. Take notes. Know what's going on. Expect things. Don't just always look at the candle and go, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on today? No, you should know. You should know what we're expecting. This is why people are like, I can't believe you were buying down here. I can't believe you were buying this. I expected a bounce. Seasonality, expected it. Well, it went a little lower. Okay. Well, this was a bear trap. Again, the trap king noticed that and was like, ooh, look when we gapped up, came back. Be safe out there. If you have any real estate needs, please hit me up. Love to be a referral. But also keep in mind, like, if you're not thinking about buying the dips in real estate, oh my God, what are you doing? Please be very thoughtful of this, because I'm trying to warn people. If you get into the process of looking for a house now and rates spike lower for even if it's just 2 months, just like they did in 2008, let me show you. Let me show you. Look at this stuff, man. You had like an opportunity to refinance like a boss. Zoom. You refinance. Boom. Housing market crashes. You don't care what price you get because you get the lowest rates possible. And then what? Housing always comes back. People always need a place to live. Don't let anyone tell you that the housing market is in a bubble in the sense of a big crash. It's not. The dynamics are totally different. Again, I'm putting out a video on this. I want people to understand, like, the noose, as we call it, does not give you information to help you. It's there to take your money. Talk to you later. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, your PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.